Hi there. You may have a certain perspective on what a criminal defense attorney, or specifically a DUI defense attorney, does. Unfortunately, you may believe that we show up to court, get an offer from the prosecution, and then try and convince you to take that deal. The circumstances and the facts of how we handle clients' cases could not be further from this misconception. In this video, I want to talk to you about defense of DUIs across the state of Oklahoma, what our team does when we are hired by a client facing a DUI, the process that you can expect during the case, and what we do to make sure your rights and interests are protected. When we're hired by a client or a family facing a DUI offense, the first thing that we do is make sure we understand everything that happened in the case. We will use open records requests, potentially subpoenas, and certainly communication with the other side, the prosecution, to get all of the evidence, all of the discovery in your case. That may include police reports, dash cam video from the police car, in-car cameras inside the police car, body cameras from officer, body mics from officers, reports from toxicology, blood alcohol content or actual blood test, canine certifications, and any other records that can speak to the validity of your initial traffic stop, the validity or constitutionality, whether your rights were violated or not, during the entirety of that police interaction, and whether the government can prove their case against you. First and foremost, we want to make sure that you understand the state's evidence and that all the rules were followed in your case. If it turns out the government can show that everything was done by the book, your rights were not violated, and that they can prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt, that's the time that we will first have a conversation with you about options to resolve your criminal case. Once we've had the opportunity to obtain, digest, and explain to you all of the evidence and information in your case, that is the first time that we'll begin talking to you about options on moving forward. Any DUI case in the state of Oklahoma generally comes with three options available to you. First, you have a constitutional right to make them prove it. The government has the sole burden in any criminal case, and their burden is beyond a reasonable doubt. They must prove to a unanimous jury that you are in fact guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the offense of driving a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. If the government cannot do that, your case will be dismissed and we can expunge the results of that charge. However, if it turns out that you do not want to contest your case, or after we've reviewed all the evidence with you, it looks like we will be unsuccessful in that process, that's when we turn towards the other two options in a DUI case. The next option is the opportunity to apply for and be evaluated for different programs, circumstances, or allow the court to resolve the outcome of your case. We will gladly talk to you about all of these program options over the course of our representation of you and the pros and cons of participating in them. Some of them can be quite intensive, what is required of you, but oftentimes they result in a dismissal of your case if you are successful. Third and finally is the option that many of you assume is what we do here at Cannon & Associates, and that is resolving your case by agreement with the other party. In the process of seeking an agreed resolution in your DUI case, we will develop a story of who you are, what you have gone through, and what you're doing to be proactive at this time, which we typically call mitigation or extenuation. We will build this narrative of you, your life, and your circumstances to present it to the government and try and get the best possible outcome for you. Additionally, throughout the course of your case, we will meet as a team regularly to discuss your legal matter. Our criminal defense team has a strategy session every single week on Tuesdays, and we talk through every single criminal defense client's case. You'll have the benefit of every attorney, all the paralegals, the investigator in your case, and myself meeting once a week to discuss you personally. If it turns out that we've identified no way to resolve your case other than a plea agreement, we'll do everything in our power to help you accomplish what we know will be the terms of that probation prior to entering your plea. The benefit of that, it gives you the opportunity to complete everything required of you, or most of what's required of you, before probation begins, so that that process of probation can be as easy as possible on your family. It is my hope and the entire team of fierce advocates here at Cannon & Associates that after you've watched this video, you have a different perspective on what it is that an experienced criminal defense team can do for you. Whether it's working on fighting your case, finding resources in the community, or mitigating and trying to reach a resolution in your case to avoid jail time or conviction or difficult probation, We will work hand in hand with you through the entire process to help you seek the outcome that you want. If you have questions about the process I just explained to you, what you may or may not face in your DUI case, or any questions about our team, we encourage you to reach out and schedule a complimentary case strategy session with our team. Myself or someone here would be more than glad to meet with you, answer your questions, whether you decide to work with us or not.